Hi, I'm Kendra Bailey Morris for the Heart of the Home, and we are in Sur La Table's kitchen. And today we're going to be doing something a little bit different, and we're going to be making a slow cooker recipe. And these are slow cooker apples that are stuffed with raisins and walnuts, and we have a mixture of ginger ale, yes, you heard that correctly, ginger ale and maple syrup poured over them, and they cook slowly for 6-7 hours. Warming your house, warming your soul, wonderful. So this is actually a recipe that is going to be in my cookbook called The Southern Slow Cooker, which comes out by July 2013, and it's put out by 10 Speed Press. So don't worry, you'll be able to get that recipe and many more there as well. So what we're going to do is we're featuring some heirloom Virginia apples here. And these are just kind of a yellow, transparent type of apple. You could use Granny Smith's, you could use red apples. This is kind of one of those foolproof recipes that you can use whatever you have on hand. So what I've done already is I've cored these apples almost all the way through. You don't want to go through to the other side, obviously, because we're going to stuff them and we don't want all the stuffing to come out. But what I'm going to do is place these in the slow cooker. And one of the wonderful things about slow cooking is that you can do all this assembly in the morning, and then by dinner time it's done. And you don't have to do anything in between. You can go to work, you can go shopping, you can do everything that you need to do. So these are in the slow cooker, and I've sprayed the interior of the slow cooker with cooking spray. You want to make sure that you do that always, because a lot of times food has a tendency to stick. And what I'm going to do is just take some walnuts and sprinkle some of these walnuts inside. I like to use black walnuts. If you can't find black walnuts, regular English walnuts are just fine. And I'm just going to stuff each one of these apples with equal part walnuts. And depending on the size of your slow cooker, you might be able to use 4 apples, it might be 6, and it also depends on the size of your apples. So you can fit them accordingly. Now I'm stuffing some brown sugar in each one of these apples. And a little tidbit about brown sugar is, you may not know it, but brown sugar is brown because it has molasses in it. It's not a specific type of sugar. It is white sugar with different types of molasses, whether it's a dark molasses or a light molasses, and different amounts of molasses, which is why you have light brown sugar and dark brown sugar. And now I've got some raisins, and I'm just stuffing them in here. This is kind of one of those recipes. It doesn't have to be perfect. Meanwhile, I'm going to take some brown sugar, and I'm going to mix it with some cinnamon. About a teaspoon or so of cinnamon. You could add more or less depending. Now I've already put some brown sugar in these because I like a lot of brown sugar in my cooking, but what I'm going to do is take a little bit of the cinnamon mixture and just sprinkle on top. Most of this will be washed off when we add the ginger ale maple syrup mixture, so don't worry about that. It all comes together in the end. And what's left in here, I'm going to add some regular ginger ale, and don't use diet. Diet tends to do funny things when it's cooked for long periods of time, so I say go full sugar on this one. And then I have some real maple syrup. And I'm just going to mix this together. So I have my ginger ale and my maple syrup mixture, and I'm just going to pour this over the apples and into the pot. There we go. That was so easy. Now we're done. So what I'm going to do now is cover it up, and I'm going to cook it on low for about 5 to 6 hours. And when we come back, we should have a lovely apple dessert that is soft and ooey and gooey and caramelized, and it's going to be delicious. So we'll be right back. So I don't know about you guys, but I read a book, I cleaned the house, I watched some television. No, I'm kidding. Through the magic of television, we are now 6 hours later, and we have our apples that are fully finished, and you can see the transformation that has taken place from those green apples to these really beautiful brown caramelized soft sugary apples. And so this is actually for a dessert relatively healthy. There's sugar in it, obviously, but there's no fat in it whatsoever, if you didn't notice that. Maybe some fat in the nuts, but this is a fruit dessert that kind of holds up on its own, and you don't need a lot of butter or cream or anything on it necessarily. Having said that, I'm going to put some caramel sauce on it. Just a little bit, just a little drizzle. You could also serve this with ice cream and caramel sauce, or just ice cream, but these are meant to be served warm. And this is just the perfect fall, winter dish, something to have by the fire. And I'm just going to drizzle a little bit of caramel here. And this homemade caramel sauce I actually made in the slow cooker as well. And this recipe is in my book, like so many other ones. Just a little bit, and then you like to just sprinkle a couple of nuts around the plate for garnish. And here you have it, slow cooker apples in a ginger maple syrup sauce, slow cooked in the slow cooker all day. Your house will smell amazing. I highly encourage that you make it on the first snowfall. I'm Kendra Bailey Morris for Heart of the Home. Let's get cooking.
Recipes from the Heart of the Home can be found on the Virginia Farm Bureau website at vafarmbureau.org.